Hey everyone, it's Desiree and I am here with Birch Press Designs, and we are going to create just a note card using the Regal Peacock layering die set. Now this is a very unique die set, only because the only part that you're laying are the tail feathers of the peacock. So currently we are in fall. So I picked out some fall colors of my Distress Oxide sprays. Haven't played with them in a while, so just wanted to pull them out. So I pulled, as I said, since we're in fall, I did pull some autumn colors. So the colors that I chose are Vintage Photo, Spiced Marmalade, Fossilized Amber, Fire Brick, and Peeled Paint. So I've pulled out my Bristol cardstock. So I sprayed one with the peeled paint, and I am now going to spray this one with the fired brick, and then the last one's going to be sprayed with the spiced marmalade. So I was looking for the red, the reddish, the yellowish, and the greenish. Now they are red, yellow, and green, but they have those deeper hues. They're not the bright colors. They're very fall. I'm then going to come in with the spice marmalade and the Vintage Photo and some other colors that I just previously used, and I'm going to use the sprayer itself to splatter some of those colors on to these panels, because I didn't just want to have the colors. Now you could have. I could have just sprayed these and been done with it, but I wanted to have these color variations in the panel so that when I die cut, I'm going to pick up those flecks of color as well. I do heat set these just for a little bit, and now I'm going to come in with a paper towel because I'm impatient and I want to die cut these. So I'm just lifting up some of those areas that are still damp from the splotches that I was putting onto the cardstock. So I already have the first layer cut, and I used a dark purple for that. And I'm now going to lay out the dies onto the cardstock that I want them cut out on. So you can see the top layer is going to be the green, the bottom layer on top of the purple is going to be the yellow, and that mid layer is going to be the red. I'm going to use my Spellbinders Tool-in-One just to pop out all of those centers, and you can see I really don't need it. These pieces literally just fall right out of the die cut. Now think about that. The way that they fell out, they would make for beautiful inlay die cut. Either a technique or just for that one area. So even if you just got, you would have to get the two layers. The layer A, which has the peacock body and head, and then it also has the base for the tails. And then you would need the final layer, which would be D. So I'm going to start layering up the layers using my liquid adhesive, which is my art glitter glue. I will be putting these under a acrylic block just so that they can start adhering, and I know that they're going to be secure. So by the time I finish putting glue on the next layer, that should be pretty well to go. These do lay on each other, lay on top of each other, perfect uniform. So what I mean by that is the outer line of each of the dies will match up with the outer line of the area that you're putting on. Wow, that was a lot to say, and it probably didn't make sense. So the sides will line up, the outer edges. So how about that? So you can see as I put this last layer on, it literally is going from edge to edge onto that die, or those die cuts. So while I have that sitting under my acrylic block, I'm going to start layering the peacock body and head. Now, I did cut 4 of these, or multiple of these, but what I'm going to do as well is you can see that the peacock body and head come off of the tail feathers. So what I need to do, because I want this built up, so I'm adding dimension, I'm going to layer these, but I'm going to cut a portion of them off. Mainly because the only one that's not going to be cut is the final top layer. The others that I cut are going to come up against the top of those tail feathers. So this way I don't have to add any double-sided foam squares. I already have it raised up off of the cardstock that I'm about to use, where the last layer has the entire body on it, because that's going to come up over the tails. So I want that to look like this is how it's supposed to look, if that makes sense. So I grabbed a piece of satin gold mirror cardstock. So it's not mirror, it's got a satin finish to it. I'm going to start adhering my pieces down onto that. First the tail feathers, and then I'm going to put the body and the head. And you can see that body's coming across it, but the rest of it is kept up. It's got that dimension, and I don't have to worry about cutting those foam squares that small. Once I knew that was dry, I'm going to put liquid adhesive on the back of this panel, and I'm going to put it on a cardstock that I'm using for the mat, and I chose a deep red. It's very close to the fire brick. I'm then going to take that panel and I'm going to adhere that onto my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is going to be a top folding card. Once I know that is set, it's time for the gems. So I pulled some deep purple gems from my stash, and I'm first going to apply them onto the body and the head of the peacock, and then I'm going to come through the tail feathers. So I want to put a gem in the bottom of each of these feathers at the point. So I'm going to apply my drops of glue, and then I'm going to grab the smaller size of the gems, because there's multiple sizes in here. So these are like, oh, the size just up from the smallest. Let's say it that way. And you can see I added more into the body just to give it some more shine and glimmer. And you can see those gems just picking up the light as I keep tilting it. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project using the Regal Peacock layering die set by Birch Press Designs. There's so many ways that you can put this little peacock together. So come up with those, use whatever medium that you're looking for, and you can get some amazingly different results, whether you use just cardstock or you create your own cardstock to use for these while you're die cutting. All the products I used will be down in the video description, and if you should have any questions, please leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending a little time with me watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell. You don't want to miss the next video, and make sure you hit that thumbs up. I hope everyone's having a great day, but always remember what's most important to me. Always be creative.